How would you describe that game and y'all's comeback?
I mean, it wasn't how we drew it up. Honestly, we didn't want to be down 30-3 at halftime, but ultimately we found a way to stick together and figure out how to win the game.
Let's go left side to Alex, and then we'll go Olin, Mark.
Torian, just what was said before the last drive where you guys had to get that defensive stand when they had the ball to take the lead there?
I mean, we wanted to be on our shoulders all year long. We've talked about finishing 2-minute drill. We had a couple last year that didn't go our way, but we were like, this ain't last year. This is this year's team. We've been training for this since the moment we left from Las Vegas, so let's go make it happen.
Left side, Olin from Texas.
Torian, what did it take from a defensive to go out there and shut down South Carolina in the second half? Because the offense was, they didn't score, and that made it possible for y'all to pull it out.
Well, at halftime, I told the team we'll probably get 6 possessions, and they can't score on any 6 possessions. Our biggest enemy is probably going to be the clock. These have to be 3-and-out drives. They have to be 5 plays or less drives. And ultimately, we found a way to make it happen. Not every drive was 5 plays or less, but we found a way to win, and I'm so joyful for that.
Left side, Mark Passwaters from On 3.
Torian, did you guys make any adjustments at halftime to try to slow them down? Because it seemed like night and day from the first half to the second.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. I walk in the locker room. Well, first off, me and Dalton were the first people up the ramp, and we talked to everybody walking into the locker room. We were like, this ain't over yet. We got 30 minutes to fight. So me and Dalton did that. So when me and him walk in, Marcel had already gathered up the team. He was talking to the team about how he has to play better, how we have to help out the defense a little bit. And then I jumped in. I'm like, we have to help out the offense. We got to get more turnovers. We're losing the turnover battle right now. So we didn't change anything. We just came together as one team like we know we should have been from the get-go. We just were like, lock in, play one play at a time, and let's go win this football game.
Right side front, Travis from KBTX.
Now, it's kind of early for this question, but when you think back on this game, what do you think is going to be the first memory you think about?
The first memory I think about this game, about how it took everybody who was at Kyle Field today to win the game that were cheering for the Aggies, whether it's the fans, whether it's our program as far as equipment managers, operations, recruiting, coaches, football players, scout team. Like, trust me, it took everybody on that sideline to go win that football game today.
And just kind of what were how did you take in everything once the game was over?
Man, it was a special moment for sure because we said they weren't going to score on offense again. The offense said that they had our back. KC, Mario, Marcel walking up and down the sideline, they said, we got y'all. We're going to go put some points on the board. And then at halftime, I'm telling them, look, let's go score some points. We get the ball back coming out of halftime. Let's go get some stops, and let's get the crowd back involved in the football game.
Left side middle to Matthew, and then Aaron.
What's up, Torian? What was the spirit like in the locker room after making program history with that comeback?
Let's turn that music up. Let's figure out what we have to do to get better. But ultimately, like that locker room right there is special. There is no panic. There's no fear. There's no quit in that locker room, and that's what I love most about my team.
All right, we'll go left side to Aaron.
Hey, Torian. Elko said he doesn't say much at halftime, but from a player's perspective and a leader's perspective, just what did he say today, and what stood out to you the most?
I mean, let's go. We got 30 minutes to make it happen, to rewrite history. You don't have many times that you can rewrite history, avenge a loss that we had last year. We knew it was personal coming into the game, but we weren't playing like it was personal in the first half. They were playing like it was personal, even though they went out there and whipped our tail last year. But we were like, you know what? We got 30 minutes to make it happen. We don't want any blemishes on our record. Let's go find a way to go win this football game.
Behind the lights to Tyler from KBTX.
Yeah, Torian, what did you see from Marcel in that second half? What he was able to do?
I saw somebody who stepped up. I saw somebody who was playing like their life was on the line, which it was. I mean, we go out there and lose that game, regardless of how we played on defense. They were going to blame it all on Marcel. So I feel like he recognized that, and he didn't back down from that challenge.
We'll stay behind the lights to Donna.
Torian, towards the end of that game, obviously it was important that y'all were able to put it away in those final couple minutes. Just what are you talking to the guys about in that moment, or is it just kind of all instinctual?
Man, where my closers at? Cassius Howell, Dayon Hayes. Like, let's go win this game. Sacks, kill, 2-minute drives. Let's go. They only had one timeout going into that 2-minute situation. So we're like, let's go do it. They can't get to the 35-yard line because that's a standard field goal range for SEC kicker. So all this stuff, I'm relaying this information. Like, let's go. Let's use all the tips that we learned throughout the week, and let's go win this football game.
Left side to Alex.
Was there anything in practice leading up to this game that you felt like you guys weren't maybe locked in or prepared to go from the start?
No, I wouldn't say that. I just felt like they were probably just outplaying us. They were out-executing us. They were out-effering us. And that's kind of what South Carolina does against us. If I remember correctly, last year they had a bye week going into our game. This year, they had some coaching changes, so they had a couple more weeks to implement some new plays. So they came out there with some new stuff we weren't expecting. But ultimately, we weren't playing hard. We weren't playing with effort, and we definitely weren't executing. So at halftime, just one play at a time, however many plays it takes, let's go figure it out.
and you're pretty tight with Marcel. Just what'd you tell him maybe during the game and then after the game, and just in that conversation?
It's time to crank it up, man. You know, all eyes are on you, win or lose. So let's give them something positive to talk about. And I'm sure they are right now.
Right side, we're going to go to Tony and then Carter.
Tori, obviously it's well documented how well you guys come out of the second half. You guys have been doing it all season. So you talk about the leadership and you talk about just the mentality. But how much of the X's and O's is talked about halftime that is credited to that adjustment? Or is it more you guys just stepping up and making plays?
Yeah, we didn't draw anything on the whiteboard at all. I know other positions probably did, but for us as linebackers, we were like, these guys are playing harder than us. They're executing far better than we are. Let's go make it happen, one play at a time, and that's it. Trust me, we didn't write anything on the whiteboard. We didn't make any changes. We were running the same calls in the first half that we did in the second half. We just played harder, and we executed better.
Right side, Carter.
Torian, at what point in maybe the second half did you see kind of the momentum shift, and maybe you saw South Carolina maybe start to wilt, and you guys start to kind of have that belief?
Yeah, I'll probably say that 4th and 1 stop by Damian Sanford played a big role in the momentum swing. If I remember correctly, we didn't score coming out of halftime. So if they went up there and they scored again on that drive, they were on the plus side of the field. If they even got 3 points out of that, it's hard to win. So Damian went in there. He wedged his way in between the tackle and the tight end. He made a stop, and I feel like that kind of got the momentum back on our side.
You mentioned you and Dalton at halftime, kind of talking to the whole team. What compelled you and also him maybe to do that and step up as that guy?
I mean, this is something that nobody knows. Last year when they rushed the field on us, me and Dalton were the first people in the locker room shaking everybody's hands like, don't worry, like we got this. We have no quitting us. Like, yeah, this is a blemish on our record, but don't trip. We're going to take care of it. And we did it, but that was just something that felt right last year. And so I talked to Dalton about that in the hotel room this morning because he's my hotel roommate. And we were like, I was like, do you remember that? Because I remember that. And I remember how it felt walking into that locker room and seeing everybody, the look on everybody's face. So today, like similar situation, we were down. I felt like the team had bad mojo, bad energy, bad facial expressions, bad body language. You name it, we had it walk into that tunnel. But we were like, let's go do it. It feels right. It feels like we're being leaders right now. So let's go, boost the mood a little bit.
We're going to finish it off with Ian on the left and then Rob.
You touched on how personal this felt after last year. How encouraging is it to get a really tough, gritty win like this at this point in the year?
I mean, it's all about us, honestly. Like, what happened last year with that team, it happened, but it's just more about us, and it's just giving us that reassurance and that confidence that, we can stick together. We can overcome anything. We were down by 27 points to an extremely talented South Carolina team, but it's all about us, how we stick together, and ultimately how we execute to go win the football game.
And Rob to finish us off.
Howdy, Torian. So Coach Elko mentioned that towards the end of the game, he looked up and saw that the stands were full as people were sawing off. Talk about the 12th man and how cool it was, because y'all have seen some stadiums emptied out. You've seen some stadiums where they booed their own team. Talk about what it means for the 12th man in that third and fourth quarter to just continue to will you guys to win.
Yeah, man. This place is one like none other. Like I'm walking around up and down the sideline, and the fourth quarter hype intro came on. I just looked at Damon, I looked at Cassius. I said, we're not gonna let this stadium down. We have too many people here cheering for us. We're too high in the rankings to have a loss on our record. I was like, let's not disappoint these fans. These fans deserve a season like this, so let's keep it going. Let's not give them something to boo about. Otherwise, let's give them something to cheer about.